Yeah, what is up, PPL fans? Shadi here for week 7 of the Pokemon Premier League. This week we're up against Slyroh and the Pittsburgh Pyroar, and looking at the league table, which I will put a screenshot of on the screen right now, hopefully. You can see that we are number 2, tied with Borussia Doublade, same points, but he has the higher differential, unfortunately. He's plus 15 while we are plus 14. And Slyroh is in number 9. He has had some mixed performances so far, some really solid performances because he has some big ass threats on his team, and yeah, he has brought some very interesting sets so far that worked out for him. So I have to look out. I definitely have to look out. But as you can see, we're at 15 points. Fred is at 15 points. Borussia Doublade. And Parasect Jaman and Shroomraver and Celta Dino and Alex at 12 points. Meaning, first up, Shroom plays against Fred, so we have a top match there. So, that means if we win and Fred loses, we're at number 1, 18 points, 3 points ahead of him, and of Shroom. But if we lose and Fred wins, we lose touch to number 1 spot, and we can't have that. We want the number 1 spot, and we will get there, eventually. So, we can't lose this game. If we lose, and Shroom and Alex win their games, we have 4 teams at 15 points. Tied. Which is incredible, so it's all about KO differential at that point. So yeah, but if we win, we can potentially set us apart from the pack if Shroom beats Fred. I of course already know the result at this point, but you don't. You might, I don't know. So yeah, important match. Like I said, our opponent is Slyroh and the Pittsburgh Pyro. So get your rifles ready, boys. We're going line hunting. Okay, so getting into teams, I'm really confident. I'm pretty certain that I have the matchup in this week. And if I remember, I will actually put a thing on the screen or in the description somewhere where you can skip the team analysis for the first time, because I gotta do it at some point, because there are a lot of people that don't give a crap about the team. So I'll do that if I remember. But yeah, like I said, we have team matchup in my opinion. So, and I had 2 test matches, and I won both of them 6-0. So you know, there's that. So I was really confident going into this game. I didn't think I would 6-0 him because he obviously knows his team better than my test opponents because it's his team. But I was certain I would win, especially since I have things that he just can't deal with really well. And yeah, first up we have Alabadi Crobat with a Black Sludge, Infiltrator, and max attack, 196 HP Vs and 16 speed with a Jolly Nature. That allows me to outspeed Mega Pinsir, which is his fastest mon, except for Choice Scarfers of course, and therefore I can run a really bulky bat. I cannot outspeed any of his reasonable Scarfers. You're not gonna bring like Scarf Quagsire or something, it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I can outspeed every potential. I cannot outspeed any potential Scarfers on this team if I go max speed, so it wasn't worth it. So I just went for Jolly max speed, Jolly 60 speed EVs to outspeed Mega Pinsir, which means this is a good check to it if I have to. I'm running Brave Bird, Roost, Taunt, and Giga Drain. Now, it might seem weird that I have Jolly Nature with Giga Drain, but Giga Drain allows me to 2-KO Physical Defensive Quagsire, no matter what. Unless he has a Reno Berry, of course, but that doesn't matter in the end. Shout out like a puck. So yeah, Giga Drain is kind of the gimmick on this thing. Defog would have been nice, but honestly, I cannot get rid of rocks on his side. I need to keep them up, because his team is pretty weak to Stealth Rocks. Like his biggest threats are weak to Stealth Rocks, or some of his biggest threats. Mega Pinsir, Arcanine, and Kyurem all take Stealth Rock, a lot of Stealth Rock damage. And yeah, and Rotom Fan of course as well, which is kind of annoying to my team actually. So yeah, I didn't think Defog would be that useful. I would rather have Giga Drain to hit Quagsire. I was considering HP Ice to hit Gliscor, but I just didn't feel like it was worth it, and I don't think it is a 2-hit KO anyway. I would have to go like naive or hasty, and I don't want that. I want to keep my bulky bat. And yeah, Crobat just, it does well against this team. It does really well against this team. He has not many flying resistances. He has Evire, which has like no defense, so it doesn't switch into a Brave Bird after rocks. He has Rotom Fan, which can live very convincingly actually, but I still get a decent chunk off, especially with rocks up. That's all fine and dandy. And like I said, it's one of my Mega Pinsir checks if necessary. And Taunt is just nice to prevent stuff like Gliscor from healing, Gourgeist from burning me, and all kinds of other stuff. Arcanine from burning me, for example. So yeah, and of course I need Roost for recovery. And yeah, Gig Drain is pretty self-explanatory. I already talked about that. So yeah, Crobat is really important in this game, and I hope it can put in massive work. I was considering running Bandit, but since he picked up Rotom Fan, I was like, nah fam, we're not doing that. Probably should have, maybe. Nah, I'm fine. So, as that, next up we have Mesprit, Choice Scarf, Levitate, with max special attack, Modest Nature, 132 HP Vs and 124 speed. This once again allows me to outspeed Mega Pinsir by 2 points. I couldn't have 1 point because level 15 stuff. I could put 0.5 point, like a half point, but it doesn't matter in Pokemon, which I found out. So, yeah, 124 speed Vs allow me to outspeed a Jolly Mega Pinsir with a Choice Scarf. And once again, he doesn't have any viable Scarfers that would be slower than Mesprit anyway. So yeah, his team is fairly fast. Like, most of them are above 80, which is impressive. So yeah, I just figured go with Bulk and the ability to outspeed Mega Pinsir and live a quick attack easily. Well, somewhat easily. And I'm running Psyshock, Ice Beam, Energy Ball, and U-Turn. This thing can put in so much work against his team. The only thing that really stops it is Bulky Kyurem or Drapion, especially with Pursuit, because if he has Pursuit, then Mesprit is pretty much done for. I can live one, unless he's Bandit. I can definitely live one. But yeah, Psyshock is pretty self-explanatory. For Stab, I wanted to go with Psychic, but Tentacruel takes more from Psyshock, Eva takes more from Psyshock, and just in general, if he brings something Spadef that I wasn't expecting to be Spadef, Psyshock just hits better, for example Kyurem, which I'm actually expecting him to bring. So yeah, Energy Ball, self-explanatory for Quagsire, Ice Beam for Gliscor and Gourgeist, also Rotom, and Shaman, get hit pretty hard by that. And U-Turn for initiative. I had Trick before, also was considering Healing Wish, but it's just not worth it. I prefer getting the initiative with U-Turn. So, as that, next up, we have one of our 2 new transfers. I hope I can get up a video before. Oh god, I didn't make a video on that. I'm sorry. I might make one. Mr. H, the Regirock. We got it in a trade from Alex Saladino for Typhlosion and 2 million. And it's actually perfect, because this thing takes on Mega Pinsir for days. Well, not for days, but it takes it on. I'm running Chestoberry, ability Clear Body, because Sturdy doesn't really help me, I don't need that. And I'm running Rock Slide, Stealth Rock, Toxic, and Rest. Max HP, max defense, impish 400 attack. This thing doesn't take shit from physical attackers, it just doesn't. Mega Pinsir cannot 2-hit KO me even with an adamant close combat. It needs a +2 boost to even 2-hit KO me, and I can still live and kill him with Rock Slide. I cannot switch in, but I can stay in at full HP, easily live up +2 close combat, kill him with Rock Slide. Stealth Rock, pretty self-explanatory. And I run Toxic over T-Wave, because otherwise Quagsire just switches in for free, and I don't want that. Toxic is generally pretty helpful for his team, because there are things that are pretty bulky and pretty annoying to deal with. Most importantly, Arcanine. If he brings default Gliscor, I guess, then that as well. Shaman, if he brings a bulky one, I can hit it on a switch in. Like I said, Quagsire, Kyurem, and Gourgeist. If I get a Toxic on any of them on a switch in, that's just brilliant. So yeah, Regirock is pretty much only there for Mega Pinsir. I can also take on Drapion and offensive Arcanine. It doesn't really care about any of that, what they can do. And yeah, that's that. Regirock is just dedicated rocks, and check Mega Pincer, or counter it pretty much. Then we have Moonshine Clefable once again, and I'm running lefties, Magic Guard, Max HP, Max Defense, Bolt Nature, 4 on Special Defense, Moonblast, Healing Wish, Heal Bell, and Softball. I couldn't have Remote Therapy, so I had to go with Heal Bell. Oh no, what a difference. And I'm not sure what it does, in all honesty. It's just there to take hits as a, you know, emergency thing. Mostly Evire is a threat. It hurts to say that, but Evire is actually a threat to my team. Holy shit. And Clefable takes care of that unless it has Iron Tail, which has shaky accuracy, so I can bank on that maybe. And just generally, Clefable is good for support. Kyurem cannot 2-hit kill me even with a Specs Ice Beam, I do believe. Flash Cannon is a roll, I think. Don't quote me on that. It might not be. Might just 2-hit kill. Not sure. But yeah, it helps with Kyurem. It helps just with Gliscor as well. Helps with Quagsire. Shaman not too much. It helps with offensive Arcanine to some extent. Because I can, you know, get recall off on him and stuff and click Moonblast. Softball, all the things. And Heal Bell is nice because he might have Will-O-Wisp Arcanine. He might bring Toxic on some things, which could be annoying for Mesprit, for example. Well, pretty much only Mesprit. Because Red Rock can heal and everything else is immune. That's interesting. Yeah. Max HP, max defense. The thing is just there to take hits. And Moonblast does actually a pretty decent job against his team. Except for Tentacruel, everything takes, and the bulky Arcanine, everything takes a considerable chunk from Moonblast, which is nice. And Healing Wish can help me with my big wing condition, which is the next one. Our next new transfer, Nido King Bradley. If you get that reference, you're awesome and have watched Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, which you definitely should. It's an amazing anime. Anyway, Life Orb, Sheer Force, of course, Earth Power, Ice Beam, Sludge Wave, and Substitute. I decided to run Sub over Focus Blast. Looking back, I probably should have brought Focus Blast, but would have been only there for Kyurem, and I have a good chance to KO that after Rocks, even if he is Spadef with Sludge Wave. So yeah, I decided to go with Sub if I get a free Sub, because Nidoking forces switches, of course. I can get a free Sub and just hit something up that might check me for or something, for example. So yeah, the coverage that I have, Earth Power, Ice Beam, Sludge Wave, hits his entire team incredibly hard, and that's why I picked up Nidoking over Nidoqueen. Just because it puts so much pressure on my remaining opponents, or most of them at least. And I'm running max special attack, modest, 92 in HP and 164 speed. That allows me to outspeed his fastest potential Scarfer, which I think is, yeah, Shaman Tentacruel at +2. If I get +2 speed into Nidoking, I can outspeed a Scarfed Timid Shaman or Tentacruel, which I'm not expecting to bring Tentacruel, but just in case, okay? But now you might ask yourself, how do you get the +2 speed? Well, that's our last member. Scissor Awesome, the Mega Scissor, Scissorite Technician, Bull Punch, Roost, Baton Pass, and Agility. Yep, if I get +2 speed in Nidoking, it's pretty much over if I do it at the right point. I can live a Quick Attack from Pinsir. I think I can live Quick Attack plus E-Speed from Arcanine with King Bradley. So yeah, Mega Scissor is there to help me deal with stuff like Kyurem and Shaman. Most importantly, Evire has Flamethrower, so it doesn't really do much against that. Rotom Fan as well. And mostly it's just there to Baton Pass to plus speed into Nidoking. Or potentially something else. If I see that, I don't know, Crobat can finish off the game. Despite him having a Scarfer, for example, I can pass +2 speed into Crobat, outspeed the Scarfer and kill everything. And yeah, that's my big goal. Pass speed into Bradley is difficult against this team, but I hope I can somehow manage it. Yeah, for example, nice, my Shalom just died. Nice. For example, on Arcanine, he has to go for Willow for me to get a somewhat safe switch into Nidoking, because I am fully special, so it doesn't really matter. And Quagsire has to just not attack me, I guess. Yeah, it is difficult to get a Baton Pass off, but if he's choiced into like Ice Beam, or well, not Ice Beam, Flash Cannon with Kyurem or HP Fire, I can live in HP Fire, get a plus to speed, Baton Pass out into Nidoking, and easily take an HP Fire and do things and stuff and kill shit. So yeah, max HP, max special defense, careful nature, 4 in defense. Did I mention that? I don't know if I did. Now I did. Maybe twice, but that's okay. So yeah, that's the team that I brought. It's pretty straightforward, I would say. Yeah. I think I did a good job. But I overlooked a threat, which you will see in the battle. But for now, that's my team. Let's get into his team real quick. Okay, so the team that Slyroh decided to bring consists of Electivire, Quagsire, Gliscor, Kyurem, Drapion, and Shaman. He didn't bring Mega Pinsir, which I wasn't too surprised, because I have Regirock, I have Lano T, which can check it, Crobat can check it, and insert Scarfrey here, which is in my case Mesprit, can check it. So really, my team doesn't fear Mega Pinsir too much now that I have Regirock. A shout out to Alex once again. But he brought the two things I did not want to see, those being Kyurem and Drapion. I am certain that this is a Spidef Kyurem, because of my Nidoking, otherwise this team just gets 6 out by it, pretty much. If played well, of course. So, yeah. Nothing necessarily surprising to me, personally. I'm kind of surprised I didn't bring Arcanine, because spreading burns on my team is pretty nice. Not sure why he didn't. I guess he figured Quagsire would do the job just as well. You know, it walls Mega Scissor as well, so kind of. Yeah, it does. So yeah, Evi is annoying, Kyurem is a threat, and Drapion is annoying because it might have Pursuit for Mesprit. And also means I can't freely spam Psyshock until I get rid of it. So, yeah, is there anything I can say about this team that wouldn't spoil anything? I don't think so. Looking at this team, I figured this might be a Scarfed Electivire. Defensive Quagsire, probably defensive Gliscor, Spidef Kyurem, offensive Drapion of sorts, and probably an offensive Shaman as well. So, yeah. I wanted to say something, I forgot. Okay, I'll leave a Mesprit, that's the one. Because it's my Scarfro, I outspeed everything on the team unless he has a Scarfed Electivire, Kyurem, Drapion, Shaman, Gliscor. But if any of them are Scarfed, they don't kill me. So I'm pretty fine in that regard. I don't mind anything. So I had fucking Regirock in my first slot on my team, just so he would think that's my lead. I do that sometimes because like, yeah, look at my lead. I don't know if it worked. You will see. Yeah, Mesprit is a pretty safe lead unless he leads with Drapion and just pursues me right away. I am pretty safe. And yeah, that's it. Let's not get into battle. Thank you to Jack the Don Fanatic for jetting my mons. And thank you to Slyroh actually for recording my match. Their links will be down in the description. Slyroh's obviously will be in the description because he's my opponent, and opponent's links come in the description. Go check them out. They're cool dudes. They do things and stuff on the channel. Jack started a new series where he uses hacked Pokemon in the Battle Mason, which is cool. And Slyroh is doing all kinds of Pokemon and Spyro stuff at the moment. So go check them out. They are in the PPL, as you should know by now. So yeah, that's it. Let's get into the battle. Okay, so let's get into this match. I have talked about the teams already, so we don't have to do that again. Yeah, as I said, I'm gonna leaving off with Mesprit. And yeah, team team preview is longer than it should be. Okay, Slyroh is issuing a challenge. And I even remembered, like I said, twice already. He decides to leave with Shaman. That's fine by me. Because that means if he's scarfed, I will know it and I can live every hit because I'm a multi-sprint, I'm bulky. And if everything else, I get initiative, I can scout what set he has, if he has HP investment or not. From looks of it, this is probably just his offensive one. Max speed, max special attack is what I'm guessing. And this Seed Flare does way too much to bulky Crobat. 4 times resisted at around 50 HP, 48. So I'm pretty sure that this is a Spec Shaman. I think that's what the calcs told me. So that's what I'm going to be playing against. A Spec Shaman. So, excuse me. I just go for Brave Foot. I couldn't risk him staying in and going for a Psychic in case he isn't Specs, and I just fucked up the calc or something. Let's go for Brave Foot, get damage off on the Glide score, which is fine. Steam has a bit of a flying weakness. The thing, it's the only thing that really switches into my Crobat, because I, of course, I've Gate Rain for Quagsire, as you saw in the team preview, which you could have skipped potentially. I don't know. Go for Roost. Go back to full in case he wants to go for Stonage or something. I was thinking about going for Taunt. As you see, he gets up Rock, so I should have done that, but it wasn't worth it in my opinion. I just wanted to get back to full and don't risk dying to a max attack Adamant Stonage or something, you know. Going to Moonshine Nickel Fable, because I know I can live every hit the thing wants to throw at me. Even if he has Poison Jab, if he's offensive, it doesn't do anything. And from the damage Crobat did, I'm pretty certain that this is a defensive one. So that's more knowledge for me. Ice Fang, of course, doesn't do anything. Excuse me. Because I'm a big defensive Fable. That's nice. I can just fire over Moonblast here because nothing on the team really wants to switch into that. He wants a Kilowatt. His Electivire, I just fire over Moonblast and it does a pretty good chunk. I'm content with the damage. It doesn't want 40%. Or 35, I would say. It might be Assault Vest, I'm not sure. And at this point I'm like, okay, it gets Iron Tail. I looked it up and it gets Iron Tail. I was like, okay, I can live one and I can softball up, see what item he is, and it's gonna have a lot of fun time. But he goes for Earthquake, probably expecting a switch of sorts. For example, Nidoking. But nope, doesn't do anything. Softball back to full as he goes for Volt Switch, which tells me once he's mixed, or at least he has Volt Switch, which is nice to know. And he's also not choiced. So that's good to know for later on. I just fired off another Moonblast, not really fearing anything because he didn't show me the Iron Tail. As he goes into 1B, the Drapion, it does a pretty solid chunk. So Clefable is weakening his team, which is really nice. It's on 40% to a Drapion, which is respectable. And since he didn't bring Mega Pinsir, Regirock is my dedicated switch in. Regirock can take everything a Drapion wants to throw at it, even max attack, Adamant Life Orb. Earthquake does less than 40% to my max defense Regirock. So I'm pretty safe going in here. I was considering going for Toxic this turn, expecting Quagsire, but rocks are just so important to wear his Kyurem down, or just to weaken it, so I can 2-hit KO it on the switch in, for example. So I decided to go for rocks. I could have stayed in here and gone for Toxic because I can live every hit because it's a Quagsire and I'm a Regirock. But I have a safe switch in Clefable. If he burns me with Scald, it doesn't matter because I am Magic Art. Get burned, it really doesn't matter. He doesn't have a sleep inducer, so it also doesn't benefit me in any way, but it just doesn't make any difference whatsoever. He switches out, of course, because he knows he can't touch me. Can't touch this. Goes into Shaman. I just go for Moonblast and weakening Shaman even more. I think it specs, like I said, so it's probably not gonna have rest or any form of recovery, so that's nice. Maybe should have Southballed there, but hey. Right now I'm going to Scissor, because since I went into Crobat last time, I figured he might predict that again and go for Psychic. So Mega Scissor once again takes Grass type hits well, and if he goes for Psychic, I take that as well. So he goes for Giga Drain though, which, you know, doesn't do anything, because I'm a special defensive Scissor. And here, I could have roosted, probably would have been my better play, because I want to keep Scissor at good health. But I decided to go for Baton Pass. Mega Run Up, going for Baton Pass, just because I want the initiative. I have the Wall Breakers, I have the things that can punch big holes in his team. Big holes, pause. So Baton Pass out, and I decided to go into Mesprit, and that's a misplay on my part, in my opinion. I should have gone to Nidoking, because Nidoking puts even more pressure on his team. but I was fearing the thing being speed invested, even though the damage already told me that this Gliscor is bulky as fuck, so it doesn't have enough speed investment to outspeed Nidoking, because it needs a lot. So, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. Once again, a song reference. Hey yo, shout out to Linkin Park. Because he brings in Drapion, Ice Beam knocks that out. He might have been expecting a Psychic, or he just wants to sack this, because, like I said, Mesprit puts on pressure on his team. Maybe he was also expecting a potential call. Nope, he saw I was scuffed. Forget about that. He brings in Kyurem. I cannot touch the thing when Ice Beam. Even Psyshock won't do a whole lot if I wouldn't be scarfed. So, switch out into Scissor, because he's not going to go for a Hidden Power Fire. If he has it, I can scout what he goes for. As it turns out, he just goes for Ice Beam, which is the safest play. I was expecting that. Either that or Flash Cannon. And, you know, it doesn't do a whole lot because I'm going to spit off Mega Scissor. He turns out to be lefties. At this point, I'm like, okay, there's no way he has HP Fire. I'm just gonna roost up. It's gonna be a happy all fun time, and then I can die to an HP Fire. This is where the game turns around completely. This Kyurem just became a really, really big problem to my team, because he's bulky, and he just killed my Mega Scissor with HP Fire. I go to Moonshine because I think I can take the thing on. Nope, Flash Cannon. Well, shit. I was scouting for that. I knew I can live 2 of those because he's apparently bulky, which is smart of him because it takes out my Nidoking as a special tiger. But yeah, Flash Cannon doesn't do a whole lot. I know I can stay in here because he cannot 2-hit KO me because of lefties and stuff and things. So I just go stay and go for a Moonblast, hoping for a special attack drop in all honesty. Not gonna lie. And yeah, Moonblast does a decent chunk, but that tells me he's definitely split off. I do get a special attack drop, which is really important because that means I can stay in here. I can beat him 1v1 if necessary. So this turn I don't want to risk him going for Flash Cannon and critting me potentially, or 2-hit KOing me, even at -1 from this range. So I go for Softball. He goes for Roost. Probably expecting that, which means we're both back to full, and it's like pretty much nothing happened except I lost some PP because pressure and stuff. He lost some which don't even matter. At this point I'm just gonna fire off another Moonblast because his team doesn't have switch-ins for Moonblast. He doesn't have anything that really wants to take it. He goes into Evire, and I was hoping that this would kill after rocks, because the first one did like 35%, he's at 45, so it was, yeah, it lives. And I make a huge misplay. I stay in thinking he wouldn't have Iron Tail, but why would he switch into this if he didn't have Iron Tail? He just didn't show it the first time for whatever reason, trying to lure me to false sense of security maybe. And now Clefable is at a point where Flash Cannon from Kyurem will knock it out, which means basically I done fucked up. I can still heal on Quagsire, if safe, just to switch into Quagsire, or a safe switch into Gliscor. You know, after something dies, for example. So I'm gonna keep it in the back, go into Crobat because I know I can live every hit. If he goes for Psychic, that's fine, because that means I can go into Mesprit and put more pressure on his team with a Psyshock probably. So yeah, he goes for another Giga Drain, which is fine by me. It doesn't do a whole lot to Crobat, and at this point I'm like, I need to keep Crobat healthy because Crobat is pretty helpful against Kyurem because I have Taunt. I can Brave Bird, which does a decent chunk. So I go for Roost because he still has his Gliscor, which can easily live Brave Birds. So going for Roost is my safest play, it's my best play, and that's what I do. Go back to full, and he has Poison Heal, yada yada yada, and he's way too much. I just had to go for Brave Bird because I want to get damage off on the thing. I figured I could potentially beat this with Roost and stuff. But then again, he can Earthquake me while I Roost, so he goes for Ice Fang. I know it wouldn't do much unless he gets a crit. Kind of annoying, but it doesn't really matter. But he forces me to Roost with that, which is annoying. He could have gone for Earthquake this turn. You know. And if he would go for Earthquake here, which he doesn't, as you can see here, he goes for Ice Fang, which is fine. I can shoot at because I lost my Flying type and stuff. This doesn't lead anywhere. This will take forever, and I don't feel like doing it. So I'm gonna switch out, go into Mesprit, because Mesprit can easily chew an Ice Fang if he wants to go for Earthquake, predicting a switch of sorts. It's fine by me. I'm immune to that. So yeah, excuse me, Ice Fang doesn't do anything, and I'm inside pretty much. And at this point, I should have clicked Psyshock. I really should have clicked Psyshock, because there was no way he would stay in, especially after he saw Ice Beam. So yeah, I should go for Psyshock, got enough more damage on his Kyurem. You will see that it actually matters next turn. And yeah, Ice Beam does nothing, which 100% confirms that this is a special defensive Kyurem. And yeah, I'm not well prepared for the thing. I'm gonna be honest, I did not prepare well. But I'm gonna switch, go into Mr. HG Rhetoric, hoping he would Roost. And here's where it matters that I didn't go for Psyshock. If I would have gone for Psyshock, he pretty much had to Roost. And Rhetoric could have Rock Slided or Toxic this, which would have been amazing. But since I went for the Ice Beam, he can safely go for an Ice Beam of himself, of his own, whatever, and to kill Rhetoric, which is unfortunate. Rhetoric didn't do a whole lot except for getting up rocks, which will end up mattering. But yeah, I should have gone for Psyshock, which would have put me in a much better position. At this point, I pretty much lost. I only have Crobat, Nidoking, Mesprit, and Clefable left. Clefable is half dead. And yeah, I decided to go into Crobat because I can get damage off to the point where Nidoking can maybe KO it with a Sludge Wave. So go for Brave Bird. It does a good chunk. That's 45% I would say. So that's a pretty good roll. I think 45 is max damage. He goes for Roost. I was really hoping with Ice Beam me, but he made a good play, knowing that he can live a Sludge Wave after another Brave Bird. At this point, I was considering taunting, but yeah, Brave Bird just seemed like a better play. I figured he would Ice Beam this turn. I could have taunted, preventing him from roosting and stuff, but hey. Yeah, he goes for Ice Beam, I die, and at this point, I lost. I 100% should have lost. My only option is going to Nidoking, hoping for a crit, or going to Nidoking and bluffing the fighting type move. Focus Blast, Superpower, both viable options for this Kyurem. And that's what you do. Go into King Bradley, first appearance, and this is where it comes down. He switches, and that's the game. I win. After that rocks, both of my mons can kill Kyurem with Psyshock or Sludge Wave respectively. So yeah, go for Sludge Wave, and it does so much damage to Quagsire. Look at this. That's resisted. I did over half. That's impressive. That's because Quagsire has, of course, shit defense, or special defense, and I'm a Nidoking. So, you know. Just to fire off an Earth Power, considering Ice Beaming, expecting Gliscor, but there was literally no point. So yeah, Quagsire goes down, and it was looking a lot better for me. He brings in Shaman, and of course I have to switch. Nidoking can still win me the game, because I outspeed everything except for the Shaman. So yeah, go into Clefable to sack it off, because I don't need it at this point. Thank you, Muchan, you did well. And Seedville is just gonna completely destroy you. I'm sorry. You did well. You did really well, actually. Now I can just go into Mesprit. I outspeed the thing. I can kill it with everything but Energy Ball. And U-turn would be my best play, because that would make it a 2-0 in my favor afterwards. But I go for Psyshock, which means I can still make it a 2-0, possibly. But this has to kill. I have to get a roll on this. If I would have gone for U-turn, I could just go Nidoking, guaranteed knock this out after rocks, guaranteed knock out Gliscor, with Sludge Wave and Ice Beam respectively. But now I have to hope that this kills. If I get a really low roll, he might live. But Psyshock kills. And that's the third kill for Mesprit this game. And now it's Gliscor against two monsters that have Ice Beam, and I could still make this a 2-0 instead of a 1-0. But I decided to stay in and click Psyshock repeatedly, which is really dumb on me. I know he wouldn't go for Earthquake, and Nidoking can live an Ice Fang easily. Or even if he decides to go for Earthquake, predicting that, and excuse me, kills Nidoking. I still have Mesprit in the back then, which can Ice Beam it. But I decided to be an idiot and just stay in, making this a 1-0 victory. So really close, our closest game yet. Spoilers, maybe. If he doesn't have the much of speed investment, but at this point you can probably tell that he has a lot of bulk on his Gliscor, somewhere around max, I would assume. Max HP, max defense. But yeah, if Nidoking doesn't outspeed, because I don't have that much speed, I'm modest with 100 something EVs, I lose. But Bradley pulled through as the 1-0 victory, the second kill for Nidoking in this match, and that's a good game to Slyroh. Holy shit, what a game. First up, I had to record the part where since I sent in Clefable again, Psychic again, because Contagia is a fucking piece of shit and decided to stop recording. So, you fucking suck, Contagia. But yeah, 1-0 victory, incredibly close game. Go check out Slyroh, it was such a good game. I really encourage you to check out his side of the match, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm really looking forward to do that. And yeah, GG once again, and holy shit, what a game. But if you have not seen the other matches and don't want to get spoiled, click away, because I'm not gonna spoil the results, but yeah. Okay, are you gone? If you care, nice. So, we're number 1 on the table. We are fucking number 1. I'll put the table on the screen right now. And as you can see, we are 3 points ahead of Fredford. He lost to Shroom. He was actually number 2 now. We also Alex and Celdadino got a victory over Jack the Non-Fanatic, I believe. Yeah. So they're all at 15 points. We are at the top of the pack with 18, and it's absolutely amazing. So yeah, shout out to Mesprit. Mesprit is the MVP of this match, by the way, getting 3 kills, followed by Nido King. And Moonshine did also really, really well. Yeah, Scissor didn't get to do anything, and Red Rock got up rocks, which is actually really important. So yeah, the only one who didn't do anything was Scissor, and everyone else put in work. Crobat was there to be switching to Shaman, got damage off on Kyurem, and stuff and things. So yeah, go check out Slyroh, like I said, go check out Jack for recording the match, go check out my boy Kino for the amazing graphics, and yeah, next week we're going against Ellie, the Teddington Teddy Ursa. She has an incredibly bulky team with offensive threats still, and stuff like the Manager and the Herocross, but I think I have the better matchup. I think I do, and I hope I do. And I hope I can work with it. I won't underestimate a threat again, as for example Spidef Kyurem, because that almost cost me the game. So yeah, I'm happy that he switched out. You don't even know how much I was celebrating. But yeah, I could have made it 2-0, but hey, we won. That's all that matters for now. Next week, we have to go for another win. Ellie is sitting at 12 points, right behind the top 4, yeah, together with the Miami Rodham Heat, currently led by Jedi Cardet, who is the caretaker manager for my buddy Ethan, for reasons and stuff and things. But yeah, we have to win, because otherwise we probably won't keep our number 1 spot. Fucking happy, and I have to record this again, but that's okay. That's completely fine. So yeah, we haunted the lines, and that's fun. I think I'm gonna end it here. Is there anything else I have to say? I don't think so. So yeah, thank you for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave some nudes. I'll appreciate all 3 of those, and look out for week 8. Hopefully see you guys next time. Goodbye.